that is port timing diagram on text tool engine. So here you can see the specifications of this port timing diagram of this text tool engine. So this is a single cylinder engine, and the fuel that is used is as a diesel. Here in our lab we are using high speed diesel, which has a high calorific value, and you can see here the speed range which lies between 700 and 980 rpm. So the normal rpm it is taken as 750 rpm here, and here so initially you have to do the same as that of the first experiment, that is you have to do the cranking. So to find the succession of order, so when these periods occurs, so you have to find the succession of order. So for that you are going to do this cranking. So you thereby you can find the direction. So in which direction you can rotate this flywheel. So now, so when you go for this two-stroke engine, you can see here we have ports. In four-stroke we have valves. So port, so it is just like a pathway. So when you go for the cut section of this port, you can see a half pathway, just like a half parabolic curve. So it is yeah, just like a pathway where this what we can say that the fuel after the atmospheric air and the fuel after this burning, so it will move out of this, or it will be pressurized and it will be sent out of this exhaust port. Similarly for this inlet port, or otherwise called as transfer port, so the atmospheric air is allowed to enter inside the engine cylinder. So in both the cases what we are doing, when you go for whatever may be the engine, so initially what we are doing is cranking. So then so you will make this flywheel so to rotate in a particular direction, so that this order, that is suction, compression, and then power and exhaust will be in order. So you will find the direction of this flywheel, so by cranking. So now you can see that, so you are going for cranking now. So in this engine you can see the topmost position of this piston, so that is taken as top dead center. So this is the topmost position, it is taken as top dead center. So the opposite to that, so since we have a clear cut section of this engine, so here you can clearly see the view of this piston which enters the bottommost position, that is called as BDC, TDC and BDC. So now in this engine you can see an exhaust port, you can see an exhaust port, similarly an inlet port on this side. Okay, so now you are going to find what are the things that you are going to find in this engine is the fuel injection period, the port overlapping period, the scavenging period, and the scavenging loss period. So all these are found out based on the angular distance which are measured to its nearest dead centers. So now we can see, now we are going to, since we went for cranking and we found the direction of this flywheel, so now we are going to move this piston, this flywheel, so and the piston, we can see the movement of the piston downwards. Now we are going towards, so downwards from the top dead center position, and so this flywheel is rotated further and further, and when you look at this you can see, so initially you can see the exhaust port. So this the exhaust port, now it starts to open. So initially the exhaust port opens, and then so the further movement in downward direction, you can see that the movement of the piston downwards, and then you can see the transfer port or the inlet port get opens. So now the transfer port opens, and on further movement, so it will reach the bottom dead center position, and once again now, so the piston tries to move upwards. So the piston starts to move upwards. So as we all know that at the initial movement of this piston, so the exhaust port opens and then the inlet port or the transfer port opens. So now, so due to the movement, upward movement of the piston, we know that the inlet port or the transfer port will close first. So the inlet port or the transfer port, it get closes, and then further movement you can see the exhaust port get closes. Okay, so we can this angular distance, you have to change this, or you have to convert this into linear. So we have a formula and we can convert this. So by measuring the circumference of this flywheel, you can measure the radius. With the help of that, you can find the linear distance from this nearest dead center. Okay, so now you can go for the fuel injection. So for fuel injection, so move the piston from the TDC, to the bottom dead center position. So we all know this is a two-stroke engine. We can find the fuel injection. So when the fuel injection has to begin, so since this is a two-stroke, it will during the single revolution of the crank, you can go for the power production. But in case of four-stroke engines, you have to go for 2 revolutions. But here, since it is a two-stroke engine, you can see the fuel injection, when the fuel injection begins and when it starts. So you can see that. So it instantaneously happen, and the rapid fuel injection, rapid movement of fuel injection, that is, so it's the fuel injection begins. This is the place where the fuel injection begins, which is nearer to the TDC, and the fuel injection ends. So you can find further movement, the fuel injection. So you can see here the fuel injection ends. So you can still get a conclusion by removing the fuel from this pump, and you can check the movement of the fuel. So if there is no movement, so you can conclude that this is the place where the fuel injection ends. So from all this, so far you have found out the top dead center, the bottom dead center, then when the exhaust port open and when it get closed, and when the transfer port open and when the transfer port closes. So from all this, you are going to find the value of the fuel injection period, you are going to find the value of port overlapping period, and that is the angle between a transfer port open and the transfer port close, and when the scavenging period occurs. The scavenging period, the total period, that is between the exhaust port open and the exhaust port close. The total period, so when you find the angle between these two, you will get the scavenging period. And similarly for scavenging loss period is the angle between the transfer port open and the exhaust port closes. So when you measure all this, you can get a port timing diagram. So in a spiral graph, you have to draw all this. So you have to take a top dead center and a bottom dead center, and with this angular distance, you can in a spiral graph you can find the angle between all those, and you can easily mark on the graph, and you can at last you will get the port timing diagram of this. So that is the aim of this experiment, is to determine the port timing of the port with respect to its nearest dead centers. So thank you. So now we can go to the port timing diagram of text tool engine. So far we have seen the engine part. In engine we have measured the, first we went for cranking, and we found out the sequential order. Then we went for the direction in which the flywheel has to be rotated, and then we have measured the top dead center, bottom dead center, and when the exhaust port open and the inlet port open, and then when the inlet port closes and the exhaust port closes. So we have measured all these on the circumference of the flywheel, so linearly. So now this has to be converted into an angular distance, and we have the formula for that. And before that, in tabulation part, so we have the events, which are what are the events that has to be take place. So the same as that of the wall timing diagram, but here we have ports. So that is inlet port, exhaust port. Then when these inlet port and exhaust port get closes and open, and when fuel injection begins and ends. So since this is a two-stroke engine, that is the port timing diagram, that is a two-stroke engine. So we went for the fuel injection, and the fuel injection begins and ends for a shorter duration. So the fuel has to be injected in a minimal period. When compared to wall timing diagram, you can see that. So you have the timing between the fuel injection begin and fuel injection end is too long. But when you go for this two-stroke engines, the fuel injection begin end are so very in a shorter period. So it ends in a shorter period. So now we can go to the tabulation part. In tabulation, so we can see the events, what are the events and what are the things which are happened. So that is how we can measure the distance nearer to its dead center, and the distance in case of linear measurement. So this has to be converted into angular measurement. So we can go to the tabulation now. Now we can move on to the tabulation part. So in tabulation we have the events. So that is when the transfer port opens, when the transfer port closes, then when the fuel injection begins and the fuel injection ends, then exhaust port open and the exhaust port close. So all these are related to its position, that is, so all these events happens near to its dead centers. For example, when you go for the event that is transfer port open, so this has to be measured before the bottom dead center. Similarly, for this transfer port closes, it has to be measured after this bottom dead center. And for fuel injection begin and ends before and after this top dead center. And when you go for the exhaust port open and the exhaust port close, this exhaust port open has to be given before this bottom dead center and closes before after this bottom dead center. So the linear distance is measured with the help of a measuring tape, and the TPO, that is transfer port opens before bottom dead center of around 20 centimeter, and this transfer port closes after BDC of around 21 centimeter, and fuel injection begins before TDC of around 7 centimeter, and fuel injection ends after TDC of around 4 centimeter, and the exhaust port open before BDC of around 27 centimeter, and the exhaust port closes after BDC of around 27 centimeter. And all this linear distance you have to convert it into angular distance. So this angular distance can be converted, that is the angle of event can be measured by using the formula, that is theta is equal to L into 180 divided by R into pi. So this L is nothing but the circumferential length, so with respect to its dead center, and 180 is the normal stroke period, and R is the circumferential radius. So that is, if you measure the circumference, so you can easily find that circumference is equal to 2 pi r, and from that you can find the radius into pi. So this is the formula which is meant for this angle of event. That is, for example, we can go for fuel injection period. So what is the formula for fuel injection period? So can be measured with the help of this angle between this fuel injection begin and end, and you can go by measuring this angle of event. So this has to be measured. So only with this, so we can go for the angles. So that is the angular distance. Go for this port timing diagram. So we have seen a wall timing diagram. So in that we have inlet valve, exhaust valve and all. So here, since it is a two-stroke engine, so we have ports. So the same you have to represent as that of the wall timing diagram, but so the thing is different, that is TDC and BDC is similar to that of the wall timing diagram, and there you have inlet valve open and inlet valve close, and similarly for the exhaust valve. And here you have, so yeah, you can see in the experiment, you can see you have moved this piston, that is downwards. So when you are moving the piston downwards, that is by rotating the flywheel, the piston moves downwards. When it moves downwards, initially the exhaust port gets open. So on further movement of the piston downwards, so you can see the transfer port also open. So then, when the piston moves downwards and when it reaches the bottom dead center, once again it tries to move towards the TDC. So if it moves towards the TDC, you can see that since the transfer port happens second, so this will, here it will happen first. So the closure of that port will happen first, and then the exhaust port close up. So by this you can draw a diagram which meant for this EPO, TPO and TPC and EPC. But in between that you have fuel injection begin and end. So this fuel injection begins and end, it happens for a shorter duration. So you can see that the fuel injection begin before TDC, it happens around 15 degree 57 minutes and 12 seconds, and after this TDC it happens around 9 degree 18 minutes and 5 seconds. So by this way, so you have to measure all this which is represented in the diagram using the formulas or using the calculation part. So all these has to be measured with the help of this calculation, with the help of the formulas that are given in the calculation. So here you can see the fuel injection period. So that is the period, or that is the angle between this FIB and the FIBE, and FIB represents fuel injection begins and FIE represents fuel injection end. So when you go for the scavenging period, so the scavenging period, so it occurs so between this EPO and EPC. So the continuous process, so that throughout this EPO and EPC, this scavenging occurs. And this scavenging loss period is the angle between this transfer port open and this exhaust port close. And this port overlapping period, it occurs between transfer port open and transfer port closes. So you can see the same suction, compression and expansion and all in this working stroke, that is power stroke and the exhaust stroke, in all this in the port timing diagram. So when you go for the calculation part, you can see, as I said earlier, that is the angle of event is represented by the formula theta is equal to L into 180 divided by R into pi. So this L, so it represents the circumferential length, so which we have measured in the engine. So that is L is the circumferential length and R, you know, is the radius of the flywheel, and this is the formula. This 180 represents the normal stroke period. And now, so when you find the angle of event, that is theta, so that is given as 45 degree 31 minute and 5 second. So when you go for the fuel injection period, so this is the formula, that is T into angle between fuel injection begin and fuel injection ends, fuel injection begin and fuel injection ends, divided by 360 into speed. So this speed, it represents the rated speed which is given in the specification of the engine. So that is a T for 1 minute, it is 60 seconds. So 60 into angle between fuel injection begin and fuel injection end can be measured in the port timing diagram, and that is given as 25.08 degrees divided by 360 into speed, that is the rated speed of the engine is 750 rpm. So now when you go for the calculation, so when you do it, so you can get 5.575 millisecond or 5.575 into 10 power minus 3 seconds. And next, when you go for overlapping period, so in overlapping period the formula is T into angle between TPO and TPC divided by 360 into speed. So T is 60 into, you can measure the angle between TPO and TPC, that is around 93.36 divided by 360 into 750, that is equal to 20.74 millisecond or 20.74 into 10 power minus 3 second. And when you go for scavenging period, so that is the T into angle between EPO and EPC, EPO and EPC divided by 360 into speed. So this angle between EPO and EPC, it can also be measured with the help of this port timing diagram, divided by 360 into 750, that is the angle between EPO and EPC is 123.06 degrees. So that you can at last when you do calculation for this, so you will get around 27.34 millisecond. And the next is scavenging loss period, that is the angle between TPO and EPC. So that period it can be measured for this scavenging loss period, that is T into angle between TPO and EPC divided by 360 into speed. So 60 into angle between TPO and EPC is around 107.05 divided by 360 into 750, that is equal to 23.78 millisecond. So these are the calculations that you have to do for this port timing diagram. So far we have seen the wall timing diagram and the port timing diagram. So the way in which we are going to measure the events in wall timing and port timing are similar, even though it is similar. So there you have valves, so that is 4-stroke engines, and here you have ports. So you should know the basic difference between a 4-stroke engine and a 2-stroke engine. So by measuring the events in wall timing and port timing, and by drawing the wall timing diagram and the port timing diagram, you will be easily able to understand the happenings, what are the things which happens in a wall timing in a 4-stroke engine and in a 2-stroke engine. So the basic difference can easily be identified only by doing experiments on the respective